Okay, so now we have the tail done. What we've done is taken a Tiemco C400 jig hook and put a 5/32 tungsten slotted bead on there. Slide it right down over the eye. Mounted it in the vise. Again, I'm using 6/0 Vivus thread. Any 6/0 thread's probably adequate for this pattern. Start your thread, wrap it back to the bend of the hook. Take your tail that you just tied and mount that right onto the back of the hook, right over the top of those threads, that thread wrap that you created at the end. Bind it down pretty good. You don't want that slipping out of there, and you want to create as little bulk there as you can. You'll have a little bump there, but it's not too bad. There's your tail. So for the body is just olive marabou again. Grab another clump of fibers off of the stem, like so. Bring them up. Now here you're not too concerned with the tips. I cut them off square. Tie them in by the tips right at the very end. Take your thread up to your thorax portion. Here I'm using a material binder clip, and what we're going to do is come right down to the very bottom of those fibers and bind them and twist them. Don't twist them so much they'll break. And then we're going to use the rotary function of the vise, and we're going to wrap the body on there of this twisted marabou. And you can see it'll make the fibers stand out, jump off, so it gives it that little buggy look. Up to the thorax, tie it off, trim away the excess. If you get a broken stem that pops out in there like this, just break it out of there. Next, we're going to take whatever form of flash you like. This is just to create a flashback onto the thorax of the bug. This is this is lateral scale, microlateral scale. And I want 2 pieces in there, so I'll double that. Looks like kind of a little piece here. Double that over and bind it down. There's a little notch in the back of that tungsten bead that you can use. Hold that in like that, and then take some nymph skin, or this happens to be Pro Tube's bug skin, any kind of latex or whatever you'd normally use for a shellback. To cut that into a V shape. Bind that down on top of the hook. And then for the body is just a gray or a light olive squirrel dubbing. I like squirrel because it has good buggy, leggy look to it. We'll just touch dub that onto the thread and build up a thorax. Right up to the back of the tungsten bead. Bring your shell back over the top. Bring that down. Trim away the excess. Grab your 2 lengths of flash, bind those down. I like to fold those back just to keep them bound down in there, trim away the excess. Whip finish. Cut away the thread, and once again, because I'm using white thread, I'll go ahead and color that just a little bit with a Spanish olive Copic marker. Top off the shell back with a little bit of clear Cure Glue Hydro. This is nice stuff. You can use epoxy, you can use glue, use whatever you want. This will bind in the flash to the shell back and give it a little bit of a shiny look. You can actually build that up. Hit it with the light. Hit it around the threads, help secure the threads. And the last step would be to take a dubbing brush and brush out that thorax dubbing of the leg. And there you have it. Indicator Damsel Jig. Great pattern. Use it on the bottom of your setup. It'll actually hang in the water in this position. That tail will get limp in the water, and as that jigs up and down in the wave action, it's quite a pattern. Enjoy.